If you feel like menopause is just a phase and you can just go ahead and wait it out, you are sadly mistaken. Today, we're going to talk about the things that can happen after menopause that a lot of people don't talk about, may not even know about. Just like we didn't know all of the symptoms that were going to come with menopause, what happens after it could be even worse. So, hey, I'm Crystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. I am your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or exercise. And I'm becoming known as the menopause coach too. And I take it because as a woman in this phase, I will openly say I was not prepared, y'all. Like, I had no idea all of these things were going to happen, but they're here, right? But what was even more shocking was what could happen afterwards, right? Because we've been told, outside of not being prepared for all of the symptoms that were coming, we were also sort of told, like, it's going to happen. Eventually, it'll be a transition. Your cycle will stop, and that'll be it. That is not the truth. And that's the crazy thing about it. Some women don't even get help for the menopause. So today we're going to talk about what can happen if we don't do anything during this time, if we just let it just do what it's going to do. Then also some things you can start doing to help yourself, right? There's outside help, and then there's help that you can give yourself, right? But at the end of the day, what I want you all to take from this is that we have to take menopause seriously. Like, seriously. I know some of us joke about the hot flashes and all that stuff, like, man, it's driving me crazy, da, 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 da. But it can bring about real health implications, right? One thing you may also have realized by now is that the symptoms you're experiencing, and some of the ones you didn't realize were symptoms, that they're sometimes exacerbated by stress. They fluctuate, they go in and out. You can go through a phase where you're not having any of these issues, and then all of a sudden you are. Just like all of a sudden, the last few weeks, I've been getting hot flashes like a mug. Can't stand them. I had never had them. I would get night sweats, but hot flashes, baby, they're trash, right? So we think, they'll just go away, they'll go away. Nah. And the thing is that today I want to talk to you about the things you can do to help push those symptoms, well, reduce the symptoms, I should say, so that they're not harder to reverse in the long run, right? Because at the end of the day, there's always time. We still on this side of the earth, so we got time. Yeah? All right, so drink up, y'all. And if you're here, say hey. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're catching this on replay, type a replay in the chat as we get into talking about the things that can happen if you don't focus on taking care of yourself right now. I'm a little thirsty. All right. Let's start with, I don't even know which one to start with. I'm going to start with the things that you know are happening, right? Let me know in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've noticed that you've gained weight during this time. If you notice specifically that your belly is bigger during this time. Because one thing that happens during menopause is that we're naturally, the crazy thing, y'all, we're gaining like 8 to 12 pounds, right? In a couple of years, gaining extra belly fat specifically, right? But what is also happening is that our body is developing an insulin resistance, right? So when we have that insulin resistance, our belly fat is increasing. Now we're increasing our risk for being diagnosed with diabetes. Right? You didn't know that could come from doggone menopause, did you? We could be diagnosed with metabolic syndrome where our metabolism is just shutting down because we're not paying attention that we're real that we have to do more, right? Now it's more important to maintain our weight for health reasons, not just for vanity. And again, I've said over and over again, ain't nothing wrong with vanity. Everybody want to look good. Everybody want to feel comfortable in their skin, but we also have to pay attention to what's happening with our body health-wise. And hey, Ontario, Canada, I love it. Come on, international. So if we're not being intentional, now we're increasing those risks. What else can happen when we're talking about just the body and how we look on the outside? We also know that we are naturally, we lose muscle mass, I think like 1% per year. after we turn 40. Did you hear that? 1% of muscle mass we're losing every year after we turn 40. Right? So now, because we don't have as much muscle, that's also causing our metabolism to decrease. That's also causing us to feel weaker than we had before. And because of that, now we're increasing our chances of falling, which we ain't got time for, because we just showed as heck don't recover and heal as quickly as we did before. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking at these things that could happen to us just because we're not being intentional about switching things up. Because, ma'am, the body you have now is not the body you had 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's not. You have to be intentional. When we were younger, it seems like the body just fell in place. It just did what it was supposed to do, right? We didn't have to be super intentional because, we're young. Fam, right now, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey. We have to say, you know what? I'm already gaining belly fat. I'm losing muscle mass. I can't just go through my day. I got to make some change. We're going to talk about those changes in a little bit, but I just want to go through this list of things of what could happen to you if you aren't intentional during this time. And let me know right now in the chat if you've already experienced these things, if you're experiencing increased belly fat, if your doctor may have told you that you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, if you notice that you're losing muscle mass, let me know. Because what else could happen if we're not intentional right now, in addition to losing muscle mass, we could also lose bones. Look, I've shared this story before. Dr. V, the FNAG resident chiropractor, she flat out told my ladies at our retreat last year in Jamaica, she said, at this point, if you do not strength train, you are going to get osteoporosis. What? You are not increasing your chances. You are. But then what also is happening just naturally during menopause, our estrogen is dropping. And when that is happening, now we're losing that protection for our bones because estrogen helps to protect our bones. Estrogen also, this is the scariest, y'all. And let me know if you knew this. Let me know if you knew any of these things so far that we talked about. But let me know if you knew that estrogen protects your heart as well. So, ladies, if you ain't heard nothing else, so of course we think about the aesthetics, how we look, how our clothes fit, all of that good stuff. So yes, we know we're gaining weight, we're gaining belly fat, we're losing muscle. Now I just scared you a little bit. I don't know if I scared you, but it scared me when I saw it because I don't want osteoporosis. I do not. As a matter of fact, fix your posture right now because somebody's slouching. Let me know if you needed that reality check to sit your tail up, right? But now we're at risk of our heart being damaged. But I'm going to take a sip. Can I be honest with y'all? Let me know if I can be honest. You want me to be honest, type of yes. Because I'm going to say it. When I tell you, sometimes I get mad at all the things that us ladies have to go through physically. Let me know if you've gotten mad too. Also, I have osteoporosis after menopause. See, it happens. You got somebody in the chat telling y'all it happened. Right. It protects our heart. I had no idea. Yeah. You welcome for sitting up, Miss Lisa. But yeah, we go through so much stuff. Our bodies go through so much stuff. And I like saying, there ain't no shade to my men because I love my men. Shout out to all the black men out there, all the men out there, but especially our black men out there. Love y'all. Mwah. However, y'all couldn't go through half of the stuff we go through. Not none of it. Y'all didn't go through the periods. Y'all didn't go through the PAPs. Y'all didn't go through pregnancy, labor, childbirth, and now menopause. Ma'am, sir, why? Why we got to go through all of this stuff, right? So we go through menopause, and we weren't prepared for all the stuff that comes with menopause. We weren't. I've always said, I always thought it was mood swings, hot flash, period, stop, bam. Nah, ma'am. We know it's all these other things now, right? Itchy skin, thinning hair, uh, your texture of your hair changing, brittle nails, achy joints, brain fog, bleeding gums, incontinence, vaginal dryness. Let's see, what else? We got irritation, depression, anxiety. There's so many other things that are going on with us during menopause that we didn't even know was menopause. So we're sort of just floating through menopause, just like, ooh, let it be gone. Oh, and for anybody who don't know, I might be about to hurt somebody's feelings right now. But did y'all know that menopause can last 8 to 12 years? Heck, fam! Like, are you serious? But I also believe in looking for the silver lining with all things, right? 8 to 12 years is like, what the what? But when we think about how long our cycle lasted, right? 8 to 12 years in that is just a portion of it. And because there's so many symptoms, right? We could be going through menopause without even knowing it. So I'm not saying that it's, 8 to 12 years of just pure torture. I'm not saying that, but the process itself could start way earlier than we thought and last way longer than we thought. Right. I see. So irritated. Our perimenopause at 48. Hey, sister. Hey, cousin girl. I feel you on that. All right. Now, what else can happen? You know, we talked about the scary stuff, the physical stuff that we saw. But let me know, because I mentioned the I mentioned night sweats, but we didn't talk about the insomnia, not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep or go back to sleep. Let me know if anybody experienced any of those sleep disorders. Let me know. If that's you, type that's me in the chat. But what can also happen is that when we're going through these trashy sleep cycles, it's impacting our moods. It's throwing our hormones off even more, because when we sleep, that's when our body resets, right? That's when our hormones reset. But not sleeping now, the anxiety we feel is worse. The agitation we feel is worse. And because our hormones aren't properly resetting, guess what? Now we're gaining more weight. Again, a whole bunch of things are happening. So we have to make sure that we're focusing on getting our sleep. And I said, we about to jump into, because I don't know about y'all. I hope I ain't scare y'all so much that you're running away. But we talked about the things that can happen. But let's talk about the things that we could do. I see, Brother Thomas said, I'm sitting up and I'm a man, dang it. I'm here for it. Like, that insomnia is real. I remember thinking, like, what is wrong with me? And I can't go to sleep. So now I'm annoyed. I'm agitated because I can't get to sleep. And the next day I got to try to do some work and I'm tired. What the what? What the what? So what can we do? There are things we can do. We still have control, even though you may feel like menopause just took over. Says you still got some control, right? You still got control of the things you can do, the environments, things you put in your body, all of that good stuff. So let's talk about what we can do. And it's really not about trying to bounce back to when we were in our 20s or in our 30s. It's really about, like, just taking care and taking control. Well, taking control and taking care of the body you have now. Right. So, of course, the first thing I want you to do, you have to be more mindful of how and what you're eating. We do want to look at foods that are going to help balance out our hormones, and foods that are going to give us more energy as opposed to zapping our energy. We know the foods that we eat, they may taste delicious. They may make you happy in the moment. And then after you eat it, you're like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I need a nap. How many times you said you need a nap after you ate something? We got to be mindful of not eating those foods as frequently. I'm not a big fan of saying don't have, restrict, but I want you to be aware. I want you to be cognizant. I want you to be intentional about fueling your body as opposed to depleting it, right? Making sure that you're focusing on getting your protein, making sure you get your fibers in, right? Those are the things that you really need to focus on, protein and fibers during this time, right? So in addition to how we're eating, you got to move your body. You ain't got to call it exercise. I know some people don't like the word exercise. Exercise makes you cringe. Like, that sound like something I got to do. Move your body. Just be glad that you get to move your body, right? So whatever it is that you enjoy, go skating, go swimming, go dancing, work in your yard, right? Do something that's fun, but moving your body. Move that body. And I already mentioned doing some strength training. And that doesn't even have to be lifting weights. Anything that provides resistance to your muscle is strength training. So that can be doing squats. That can be doing push-ups, whether they're regular or modified, wall, counter, whatever. It could be anything, resistance bands, kettlebells, all of these good things. You can do a lot of different things to focus on strengthening your muscles, but also because remember I said we're losing muscle, which is making us weaker, which is putting us at a higher risk of falling. You also want to work on flexibility and mobility. So that can be things just like old school stretching, regular stretching. Now, I'm a huge fan of Pilates. I love me some Pilates. I rocks with yoga too. But sometimes just stretching can help as well. All right. So watch what you eat, move your body, focus on strength training, not just cardio, right? Cardio is cool. We need cardio because we just said that, our heart could be at risk during this time. So we need the cardio. Please don't believe that I'm saying don't do cardio. That's not what I'm saying. But I do want you to focus more on strengthening your body because again, when we strengthen our bodies, we build that muscle mass. That's helping us burn more fat and helping our metabolism keep working. Okay. It all works together. It's not just for aesthetics. Ain't nothing wrong with want to look good. But at this point, I would say this, not also, we need to focus on functionality first. Because when we focus on that functionality and doing the things that are just good for our bodies, you'll notice that the aesthetics fall in line. All right. So eating, moving, focusing on your sleep, being intentional about your sleep, practicing some sleep etiquette. Turn off the screens about 30 minutes before you go to bed. Listen to some sleep sounds. Stretch. Do yoga prior to bed to relax your body. Do some journaling. All of those good things. All of those things that are going to help your body to start relaxing. And, man, because we already having night sweats and hot flashes anyway, you should sleep in a cool room. Your room should be about 68 degrees. It should be good and dark. And you should sleep in the nude. Let that body breathe, girl. Let her breathe. She don't want all that stuff on her. The body wants to breathe to regulate itself. All right. So getting some sleep. I mentioned that stress, so when we're not sleeping, it increases our agitation, stress levels, all of that good stuff. Then I told you also how stress can make our symptoms worse. You may notice that in those moments when you're stressed out, that may be when you have a hot flash. You may notice that you're responding quicker and more harshly to a situation than you typically would because you're doggone stressed out. Your hormones are jacked up. So practicing some stress management. Stress ain't gonna go all the way away. Man, that's just part of life. Stress comes. But how you respond to the stress and how you let it impact you, you do still have control over that. And guess what? Exercise has been proven to be the best stress reliever that there is. So just moving your body can help with stress reduction. Again, stretching, do some meditation, do some guided meditation. Go for that pedicure. Why not? Right? But managing your stress. All right. And the last thing I want you to do, because we talked about eating, moving your body, getting some sleep, managing your stress. But then also, you have to have this ready, right? I always say nothing works if your mindset is not in the right place. And that applies to menopause as well. We don't have to just sit back and let menopause happen to us. We do still have some control. And you have to own that. You have to receive that. You have to take charge of that. You have to know that. To say, yeah, these symptoms are here, but there's still some things I can do. And not even, and don't be mad about menopause. It's here. Why be mad? Being mad is only going to increase your stress levels, which is going to make your symptoms worse. Except that it is part of the process of being a woman. We knew it was coming. We didn't know it was going to be like this. But we knew it was coming. I've gotten to the point now, I blame everything on menopause. I try to laugh at it. Stub my toe, menopause. Can't stop sneezing, menopause. Some of the symptoms are real menopause. Ooh, my fingers hurt. Y'all, I thought I had carpal tunnel. Menopause. We may as well laugh it out. That also helps reducing stress, right? So changing that mindset to know that you still have control so that you can implement these things by getting some sleep, reducing or managing your stress. You can choose what you're going to eat. You can. You can choose to get up and move your body at your ability level. There we go. I understand that could be some physical limitations, right? But there's always something we can do. There's always something we can do. All right. But the goal is for us to take care of ourselves now so that we can keep functioning in the next 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Who knows? All right. Because taking care of ourselves now, even if you've been in this, phase, in this transition for years, you can still start now. You can. Today is day one. And know that when you start taking care of yourself now, is way cheaper than trying to fix things later. Cheaper in so many ways. Because you can pay financially and with your health by not taking this thing seriously. All right. I see I'm 61. Oh, I'm so glad I'm answering your questions. Look, these personal summers, I'm a summer girl. I love summer. This is my time of the year. But baby, I want the summer that everybody got. I don't need my own. I ain't selfish like that. I'm not. So, yeah, let me know if this has been helpful for you all. And I want to talk about this because I do think that a lot of us just think, I just wait it out. It's going to pass. This too shall pass, right? But if we just let it pass, it could bring about so many other issues if we're not intentional about how we're respecting and honoring our bodies now. So that's something we got to make sure that we're focusing on. And then actually that's something that I talk about in the training. If you see it in the description, if you go to the description, I have a training coming up. It's Stop This, Start That, 6 shifts to make you feel better during menopause training. It's absolutely free. But we talk about that and how we have to take control of where we are right now and just not let it happen to us. But then I'll go into more detail during that training, but then also talk about 5 other shifts that could be helpful. So if this hit home for you, if this resonated with you by any means, please just come to the training. Like I said, it's free. All you giving is an hour of your time, right? And then if you know somebody else who can use it, because I see it's a couple men's up in here today. If you know a woman who could possibly use this information, make sure you share it with her too. Don't say, baby, you've been tripping, go to this training. Don't you do that. Don't you do that, sir. Don't do that. Just say, baby, I know you've been struggling. You said that you want some help, that you didn't know menopause was going to be all these things. I ran across this training that could be cool for you. Check it out. That's how you say it. You hear those words, You hear that tone? Don't you run over there and say, girl, take your butt to this train and get all the help you can get. Don't do that. Don't do that, sir. Don't do it. Oh, you're very welcome. So hopefully y'all can join me. It's just go to losemenopauseweight.com. It's coming up real soon. So I hope y'all see y'all. I hope to see y'all there, see your friends and family there, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna let y'all go on this Friday. Again, I am Crystal Taylor, the owner and CEO of Fitness is Not a Game. You've been on this Fitness Friday where we're talking about the things that people are not talking about with menopause, but they should. But they should. It's not just this moment. If we are not intentional, we are setting ourselves up for future health issues that are real deal. So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. And if you have to go outside, please be safe, because I just want you healthy, I want you happy, and I want you here. So I will see you next time. Bye, y'all.